Connecting to SQL database from Databricks is pretty simple. For that, Python has given a library called as pyodbc. pyodbc helps us to connect to database and perform the DB operations. In this session, I am going to show you how we connect to database using pyodbc. We will retrieve some records from table, and we will also do data manipulation on the same database. In this SQL Server Management Studio, I have connected to database for dbx.database.windows.net. This database is hosted on Azure. Inside that, dbx is the database and dbo.users is a table. So how many records are there in the users? Let us see. There are only 3 columns: user ID, username and full name, and only 3 records. We'll go back to Azure. Connection string for this database is stored inside the key vault. If you have skipped the key vault integration with Databricks section, please complete that session first and then come back to this session. You will understand how we establish the connectivity between key vault and Databricks. In this key vault, go to secrets, and I have secret SQL connection string for pyodbc. This holds the secret value. So it's a typical server name, database username and password. Apart from that, we also provide driver equal to odbc driver 17 for SQL server. I'm going to attach the code I'm going to cover in this session in the resources section of this session so that you can download and reuse this code. We'll go back to Databricks. I have created a notebook called pyodbc. So first thing what you have to do is to make pyodbc run. Typically we do installation of libraries through this console. We go to library and click on install new and click on pypy. However, there are some internal issues. pyodbc does not perform or may not work in certain scenarios. So the workaround is it's a bash command. %sh denotes that we are going to run bash commands. We have to install pyodbc using pip3 install command. So let me run this cell. Command has run successfully. If we see here in result window, there are a lot of statements. You see that it is getting some libraries from the internet, that is package.microsoft.com. So it has installed msodbc SQL 17 first and then the other libraries. We will ensure the library got installed successfully. So first thing, the drivers for SQL Server are installed. ODBC driver 17 for SQL Server. And then we will go to the code. Here what I'm doing, dbutil.secret.get, kv for dbx is key vault, and SQL connection string for pyodbc is secret name. Using this connection string, I'm connecting to database pyodbc.connect, then firing a simple select query, select star from users. Using Panda read SQL, I'm just firing this query, and whatever the output I'm getting, that is a Panda data frame, I'm converting into Spark data frame, and that's it. To make it work using Panda, we have to install the Pandas library. So again, typically we go here into libraries and install Pandas. This is also PyPI type of library. Let us go back to our notebook. So I'm going to run this cell. It has read all the records from database. The other way to connect to database and get the record without using pandas. For that, what we do, pyodbc.connect, again, this is select query, and then we use cursor. So connection.cursor. So it's inbuilt property of pyodbc, and using the cursor, we execute the query. Then cursor.fetch all the records it will return me, and then I have looped on those records here to get the column names. And then again, create data frame will convert all of these output into the Spark data frame. So let me run this as well. Here is the output. Alternatively, we can iterate for every row. So if I uncomment this section and if I run this cell, you see user ID, username, and full name is a data frame. I forgot to just comment one more statement here. Fetch already, since we already fetched all the records here, the output was not provided by below code. So let me run this code. So what I'm doing here, fetch one by one rows. Now the next thing is I'm going to do some DML operations, that is data manipulation operations on the database. So we will do one thing, we will insert one record into the users table. Connecting to SQL database is the same thing. You get the connection string, and using pyodbc.connect, you connect the database. Then cursor.execute, insert into statement, and provide the whatever the values are expected as per the table schema. And at the end, it is connection.commit. Since there is no output, we can assume that the record got inserted. We can go back to SQL Server and run the statement. pyodbc user got inserted, new record. Alternatively, you can rerun the cell above. You will find the output here as well. If you notice, I have only provided username and full name because the first column, user ID, is identity column. I need not to provide any values here. let me rerun this cell, pyodbc user 2. And if we see the output here, this is the sixth number, user ID 6 got added. We are going to delete the record. Let's say what we have inserted recently. So delete from users where user ID in 6. Let us run it and we will verify. Yeah, so the sixth user ID got deleted. In this way, you can use the pyodbc to connect and do the data operations on the SQL server.